everyone, Taylor here from Retail Empire. How are you all doing? Today I'm recording again Moms and Pop Stores section about how to find buyers. And the reason I'm doing it is because quality of previous live session was not so good, so I decided to record it again and try to do it even better. So thank you for joining the session with me about Moms and Pop Stores. Thank you for sharing this link. Smash the like button, do anything you can to support my channel if you can, please. And let's get the intro sign before we start. Okay, I hope everything is in place. I hope the sound is good. I hope the capture is better than last time. I just switched from different software to this one. I hope it's gonna work better. So let's dive right into the subject. So last time, previous session was about the brief, how to write a presentation for your brand in a proper way, in a way that will attract buyers. But here's the question: where are the buyers? That's the biggest question we have, right? So today we're gonna talk about how to find these buyers. There are a lot of different methods. There is manual, automated, and paid version. We need to talk about it. I want to share with you things that nobody in the industry will share with you. Before we do so, check the description of this video. I've been putting there a link for a mini course of us that I did with the great, the one and only Noam Farrar, the guy who is an influencer in Amazon space and a very known figure, and with Aaron Harbage, the one and only master of email sequences. All right, so you can find the link in the description. And I just want to tell you some great news. I'm working on a community. It's going to be a Slack community where I'm going to share deeper things. And the most important thing, I'm going to share in the community every week a list of buyers, actual buyers, contacts that you can use to kick off with your brand based on everything that I'm showing you here. All right, so let's dive into the actual thing. So when it comes to finding buyers, there's a lot of method to do it. I'm gonna talk about the easiest one that I know. I've been starting this for I think 7-8 years ago, and I realized quite fast that I cannot do it manually. It's gonna take a lot of time and too much time and efforts. So when I was working with my own brand, I was working with 60 different department stores, including Macy's, Urban Outfitter, Kate Spade, and so on and so on. But I've realized that I got to a point where I do not have new contacts. So I was literally breaking my own head trying to figure out how to find those buyers, how to put my hands on more contacts. Okay, I had enough of being introduced by people because it was going too slow, and I was always depending on others, which I don't want, and you don't want to have a situation like that in your business. So the first method is basically manual. And if I share my screen here quickly, I'm going to show you one of the methods that is out there. And I'm talking about yellowpages.com. Okay. Pay attention to the address, yellowpages with an s.com. There's a lot of different variations, which are not the best on earth. You can also use Yelp, YELP.com, Yelp. I'm not using it anymore because there are some restrictions in some areas for this. So put it aside and let's dive into this. So discover local means that in here you can find local businesses. Okay, that's what Yellow Pages is all about. And it's all set for Los Angeles, California, but you can definitely change this to wherever you want. There are 50 states in the USA. Who knows, maybe Canada is going to be the 51. We don't know what's happening in the states, right? Political wise, but put that aside. Los Angeles, California is an example, and I can copy paste this procedure with any other country in the US, including city. So if I put here a term saying toys, because my brand, let's say, is toys, I'm going to start discovering a couple of toys stores in LA. Now, as you can see here, let's take this one for instance, Hollywood Toys Customs Incorporated. This doesn't look like a chain store. However, it says that it's 75 years in the business, which means, it might be indeed a chain store that I'm not aware of. So I'm clicking on website because I want to see what what the website looks like, what they're selling. And if I'm selling toys or costumes or anything related to this, obviously costumes is the strongest category in this with this store. I'm gonna think, okay, if I'm selling costumes, I want to talk with this company. I want to find their buyer. I want to find the owner of this company and try to sell them my products. Now, if I look at contact us, which is supposed to be somewhere here, let's contact and frequently asked questions. Okay, in most of the cases, you're gonna have an email here. Here's an email, PR, customer support. I would email both of them, marketing and CS, customer support, because I don't know who's behind this. Obviously, by having such email addresses in the website, it means that probably they don't have more than one store. Plus, you can see here on the left side, there's an address, okay? And it doesn't say main office, which means this is the store. This is the store address. So let me just clarify something before we move forward. We want to know, because we're talking about moms and pop stores, we want to know if it's a one store or 2-3 stores, what we call specialty stores. Some people call it moms and pop stores, but eventually it's a standalone store where in most cases the owner is also the buyer. And if not, then there's a small team, and the buyer would probably be, you know, someone working in that store, or a friend, a daughter, a mother, a husband, whatever it is. Okay, so by having two addresses, email addresses of this business, I know that most chances that I'm gonna send the email to someone who is indeed in charge of new products. Okay, and if not, since it's a small organization, most chances they will forward that email to the right person. Okay, that's what happens also in big organizations. Like if I'm sending emails to chain stores like Costco and so on, in a lot of cases they are just moving the forwarding the email to the right person, or sometimes even introducing them to us, and by that we can pull the strings and get in touch with the right person. So this is the first method that you can use. Again, yellowpages.com or Yelp or any other similar websites. There are tons of them. You can ask GPT or you can ask Google about it. But I want to tell you something about this. This is a manual work. And if you have a VA, a talented one, they can bring up probably 50 or 100 or even 200 contacts like that every day. But if you make the numbers, you're going to end up with a couple of thousands, hopefully a month, but then you're paying the VA a salary, right? A couple of hundreds of dollars, sometimes 1,000, 2,000, whatever you're paying them, okay? And when you think about it, you might want to be more efficient and use your money in a better way. And what I mean here is to introduce you to another method. The other method is very easy. You can just purchase tons, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of contacts every month. And it's probably, not probably, it is going to cost you far less than what a VA would do in terms of cost per value. And don't forget that doing such a work on a daily basis is very hard, even for the best VA on earth. It's just hard. It's just doing the same thing morning to evening, morning to noon, 7, 6, 8 hours, as long as they are sitting on the desktop. And it's very hard to be consistent. Versus if you do it with a software, it's gonna take zero time. You don't need to wait for a month or 2 or 3 until you have a good chunk of contacts that you can email. And in that point, I would look at a couple of options. So there's tons of lead generation softwares. And one of the famous ones is ZoomInfo. Now, ZoomInfo, I have to tell you, is a very expensive one. When I spoke with them last year, I think, they were offering me a special offer, limited time one. And that was around, I think, $2,500 a year. They don't even have a monthly subscription type of a program. And I thought about it, like I didn't see the results. I didn't see what type of leads you have. You want me to test it for an amount that I'm not sure worth it. And I went out and went there and started to compare other softwares. There's a lot of them. Again, if you go, let me share my screen for a second. Where are we? So let's say lead generation software, okay? And obviously you're gonna see all the AI stuff. Excuse me, I have to use my glasses. I don't see anything in my age. And you can look at Zapier asking for Zendesk or asking them for like, what's the best ones? Well, let's take, for instance, Casper. It's not Casper because there's no E here. It's Casper, whatever it is. Okay, so I'm not, yes, I am in Casper, and Casper itself inside showing you their competitors. Obviously, they're trying to show you who is the best, which is them. Who would I say is the best if not me, right? And the best part here, and this is exactly what I wanted to show you, you know what you're getting. There's a free program with 5 email credit, which is nothing. You have 45 euros. I don't know what's in there. Probably almost the same thing in US dollar. 60 direct email credits is really, really poor. 2400 starts to sound better, 79 euros. And then you go back and compare it, okay, with, you're going to compare it with what a VA would do for you on a monthly basis. It's probably going to be more or less the same, but here you're getting it in one click. And you're getting very accurate list in most of the cases, and you are able to compare. Now, you took Casper, for instance, and you don't need to compare it to ZoomInfo because it is expensive. And I apologize, ZoomInfo, if anyone from your team is watching this video, but you're very welcome to give us better offer if you want. And I will be happy to share that with the audience, for them, not for me. I don't want any affiliate of any type, because I think the best thing I can do here is bring value to the community. And if I'm gonna do so, if anyone gonna apply with me, apply to us with any type of link, you know, I would ask them to share any discount or affiliate discount with the audience, because I don't want it for my pocket. This is not what I'm here for. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. You can compare a couple of different softwares, platforms, and you see the numbers. And if you are really good at that, you can put your hands on companies selling between 20 to 40 bucks a month, between 5 to 10,000 email contacts, which is a lot. Now, obviously, you will need to verify those emails because some of them might be failure. Some of them might be, you know, even in a matter of a week. If I have a database now, okay, and our company is sitting on a database that is getting close to somewhere around 500,000 by now, it's definitely beyond 250,000. I don't even know their actual number, the real exact number, but it doesn't matter. Still, we have non-verified emails. And why? Because every 2 or 3 days, a lot of people are leaving their jobs, switching between positions. Like he was a buyer and now he's as a sourcing manager or GMM or whatever it is. Now, you don't need to know all those titles because, again, moms and pop stores, it's very easy. Most of the cases, if you use such a software, you're going to look for the owner, CEO, or buyer. That's it. You don't need to go far, okay? When it comes to companies like Costco or Walmart, then there's a lot of different titles involved and you have to know those titles, but that's a complete different story. If you want to learn about that, you're most welcome to use the link in the description with the Udemy mini course that we have. It's only 100 or something, 100 plus something US dollars, really cheap. Really not really a lot of money for all the content we've been putting there, and that's apart from the big course that we're about to launch during the end of January, early February. But the mini course is something that is a very usable tool for you guys if you want to go ahead and dive into details and make sure you're doing everything properly. Again, in my community, I'm going to share email buyers' emails, but that's a different story. So going back to the session that I'm talking about today, I want you to understand how to do it, and I want you to take this step. Nobody hesitates when it comes to 40, 50, even $100. It's not a big deal to get list of contacts. Now, obviously, I'm here because I'm building the community, but I'm also offering you the mining course, and I'm doing it because when you get to the mining course, most chances, I don't know if it's still available, I need to check that, and I promise you to do so, but if most chances that you're gonna get together with the mining course a list of buyers to kick off with, okay, which is probably gonna be the same as purchasing any lead generation software. Okay, I'm not here to sell anything to you, I'm just saying that because it's obvious. Okay, after you compared those lists, you want to verify emails. Now there's tools to verify them, but you don't have to verify them. What you need to keep in mind, and that's a complete different session that I'm going to have sooner or later, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, is deliverability. How you're going to make sure that the email you send them is going to land in their inbox. You don't want things to go to the spam, because if it went to the spam, that's it. Most of the chances that when the person, buyer, owner of the store, whatever it is, gonna open it, it's either gonna be too late or they're gonna automatically delete the email because, hey, it went to the spam folder. That's mean it's, a spammer who sent me that, right? And you don't want that to happen. So the first rule on that is do not send from your own domain. Don't send from your domain, because your domain is used to promote your own products and brand. And if you send from that domain and you start sending again and again and again, over and over a couple of times, then you're going to be flagged as a spammer. That's why you want to use a separated domain, that the name of the domain looks like your own domain. Let's say I'm selling wooden chairs. So woodenchairs.com is my website, but woodenchairbrand.com is gonna be the domain that I'm gonna use for the emails. And if I'm burning this domain, if I'm sending too many emails and there's an issue and I identify that there is a spam issue with that domain, I can just drop the domain to the garbage and create a new one. Okay, again, I'm gonna talk about deliverability on another session, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, but just wanted to share with you this little thing as what we call heads up. And to summarize what we spoke about today, it's easy to find buyers' contacts. It's just about doing the step. The first method is manual. Again, Yellow Pages, Yelp, whatever you can find out there, but Yellow Pages is pretty good. And by the way, you can create something like, you can create a tool that will scrap Yellow Pages. That's a different level of work. I've been trying to do that in the past. Not the easiest thing on earth, but if you are into, moving forward fast and smart, that's also an option. And the second option is just simply to buy those contacts in lead generation software. Again, 30, 40, $50. It all makes sense in terms of numbers. You're looking for a couple of thousands of lists, at least in the beginning. You can always open an account like that, pull 2,000-3,000 contacts, start emailing them, and cancel the account until you know what's happening and how the results are going. While you do so, make sure you keep on listening to my YouTube Academy live sessions about Moms and Pop Store, because it's all gonna be connected to those steps of previous session with the brief and current session about the buyers. Thank you for listening. I'm Taylor from Retail Empire. It was a pleasure to be here today. And outro music. Cheers, everyone.